Hey guys, welcome to another video. Thanks for joining me. So in this one, I will be attempting to answer a question that I got from one of my subscribers. And I believe it's a question that a lot of people out there may also have, and that's why I've decided to actually make a video about it. Even though I've actually answered this question, replying the person, I'm not sure I also covered all the things that I would have loved to cover because the comments would have been, the reply would have been very long. So I've decided to actually make this in a video format. So if you're new here, my name is Steven, and my goal is to address some of your questions that you may have as you're trying to start your training or as you are progressing down your training as well in the world of aviation. So my attempt is to share as much information with you so that you don't have to make the same mistakes that I made even when I started or that I've made in the past. Anyway, I'm going to get into the video. The point of this is don't forget to like, please. Don't forget to subscribe. It will definitely help. But most importantly, I don't necessarily care for a big channel. What I care for is my channel that really provides value to my viewers, and that's really my goal here. So ask your questions below. Feel free to ask your questions below. I answer questions as much as I can. In fact, follow me on Instagram or send me a message on Instagram and I will reply there. One of the things about Instagram is that when you send me a message, I'm going to reply right away because most of the messages will often go into that, what is it called? I don't know exactly the name. Let me check it right now because sometimes I get a lot of messages from people. It goes into the request section, which, I've answered all the questions that I got before I can move them into my primary message section. So feel free to send me a message on Instagram, please, okay? Because I answered a lot of questions from you guys, all from this channel. And that is just to help you and share what I know. Of course, if I don't know it, I'll tell you I don't know it. So let's get to this video. The point here is, the question I got was, can you please make a video about the details from where you gave your interview for F1 and how it went and how you convinced your VO, which I don't know what that means, maybe the counselor in where I did my interview. So I'm guessing that's what VO means, or visa officer. But what degree you took for F1? Thank you. Now, I have wrote down the notes here, so I'll be looking at my screen to answer some of these questions. The first one is, let's get to how it all started. When I started my training, I applied for an M1 visa. The reason why I applied for an M1 visa was because, and mind you, I know that some other training or facilities, I don't know if you guys are picking up the noise of the siren, but sorry about that. But anyway, when I applied for flight training, I got an F1 issued to me. The reason was because, to be honest, I didn't really know any better. This was, you read a lot of things online, but I didn't really see much difference. And to be honest with you, I wasn't planning to work, which is one of the benefits of the F1. I wasn't planning to work. I was just planning to do my training and go back to my home country. Now, in order for me to work in the aviation environment as a flight instructor, for example, assuming I completed my training and then I get my CFIs and I plan to instruct to get hours, one of the things that you would often need is that F1 visa. But I didn't know that. And also, I didn't plan to work because it would have been very expensive for me to commit, at the time, almost $100,000 to the training. So, I was a bit short-sighted, didn't really think I would need the F1. So I went for the M1 and I got issued an M1 visa. So I won't be going into the details of that. I actually have a video that will be coming out soon, just explaining how to prepare for your interview, how to answer questions and things of that nature. That video will come out soon. When I moved to the States, or when I started training, and as I progressed through training, private, instrument, commercial, I realized, in order for me to get my experience that would help me to get hired anywhere in the world, I would need more hours because I went through training a little fast and I didn't have a lot of hours. And the hours is, necessary, in the world of aviation, assuming that's what you're into. It might not be necessary for you, but for me, it was necessary. So I ended up having to figure out a way. When I finished up to my commercial training, my flight school wouldn't issue me the I-20 and, of course, the necessary document to get an F1 visa because it was considered too late to change from M1 to F1. I remember correctly, the limit where you can change is the first phase of your training, which was my private. So for me, if I needed to change at the time, I would have changed at my private level. But by the time I got to commercial, it was considered too late. So they couldn't issue me the necessary change documents. I have always wanted to pursue more education in aviation. So my background was, prior to aviation, I did computer science, bachelor's degree in Nigeria, 4-year college degree, and I graduated before coming to the United States for my flight training. Now, the thing is, because of my, limited aviation background, I had always wanted to pursue, some form of degree in aviation. And that was why I started to explore furthering my education in aviation specifically. That then forced me, since I couldn't, change my M1 to F1 in the flight training environment, that forced me to start looking into colleges like universities for aviation programs. So I found a nearby school in Florida where I did my training, and I was able to then I was able to apply to them to get into their master's in aeronautical science program. And that was what I then did. So by doing that, the school issued me the necessary documents for my F1 and of course the necessary I-20 and admission letters and and all that stuff. So I got all those documents. I applied to the embassy because you didn't have to get a new visa, right? So I had to go back, apply to Nigeria. In this case, I went to Nigeria. Now I believe, and I'm not sure 100% if this is right. I mean, some people do not have to go to a visa or to a consular because if you have an F1 already and you're just trying to change schools, for example, the new school would issue a new I-20 and all you have to do is to leave the country. So you can go to, for example, Mexico, as long as you can cross the border, all right, and get the customs to sign your I-20 or stamp your I-20. That's really all you need. But for me, I needed to go back to my home country because I was changing a visa. So the border patrol or border customs couldn't do that change. I had to actually go to a consulate and then get a new visa issued and then come back. So that was what I did going back. That was why I had to go back to Nigeria. Went back to Nigeria, went for the interview. It was pretty easy. And this is the other part of the question that this person has asked me, which was, how was the visa, how was the process, interview process? Now the process itself was very easy. The reason is because, first of all, I already had my commercial certificate in aviation at this point, and I was just trying to further my education in aviation. So it was very easy to get it approved, to be honest. I wasn't asked much questions. I was able to just show the funds, the reason why I was pursuing that degree program, and what I have done so far. And my record's pretty short for itself. I'd been in school all through my time in the state, and this was about a year and a half apart. So I was pretty consistent with my education, and now I am now pursuing something that is also in line with what I've studied. So it was pretty straightforward to get issued the visa. It wasn't even stressful at all. Like I said, I went back to Nigeria, got the visa approved, and then just came back. So by coming back, I came back on the F1 visa with a new I-20. I don't know what your exact situation is, but I hope that you have found some value in what I've shared with you. I hope that this would help you to address what you are trying to get addressed. Again, if you're new here, don't forget to like this video, and of course don't forget to subscribe. I would really appreciate it, and I would love to see you in the next one.